Hi guys! So, it is too hot to be up in my room, so this is the living room downstairs where it's still quite warm. I am sweaty, it is gross, it is 88 degrees, it's hot. Ew. I have this new idea. Pieces of childhood. I want to do YouTube videos with a little bit more structure, and here's a video that is about a TV show that I grew up with that really shaped a lot about me. So Road to Avonlea was filmed from 1990 to 1996 in Canada. Funny, right? A Canadian film being something that shapes who I am. Road to Avonlea was a spin-off of Anne of Green Gables. The movies, or I think it was 3 or 4 movies that they made from that, and also from the book. This show takes place in Prince Edward Island, or PEI, in Canada, eastern end of Canada. It's one place that I've always wanted to visit, and the show is supposed to take place from about 1903 to 1912, just when motor cars are being introduced. I wanted to share this with you because this TV show of about 7 seasons largely shaped who I am. Because growing up, my great-grandparents would record off of the Disney Channel this TV show, and it was just always really, it was something that I think we wore out. It was something like 8 tapes. And I think we wore out just about every single tape because I watched them over and over and over again. And there's one particular ones where there's a lullaby, and it was just my favorite lullaby that I would sing top of my lungs downstairs and play over and over and over again. Pretty sure I drove my parents crazy. This show put a very large emphasis on being good and being kind, and about how if you are good and kind and true, that everything turns out alright, that everyone turns out alright. I gotta say, that's a pretty nice message to get when you're a kid. And I also, although I know that I was a little shit growing up, at the same time, I could have been much worse, Mom and Dad, because this show kind of showed me that as mischievous of ideas that I could have, as these characters had, whenever they were being mischievous or even mean, it just never panned out the way they wanted it to, or there was no greater purpose, I guess, in a way for it. On some level, it wasn't as bad of a kid as I could have been, because this show made it really hard to rationalize doing something shitty. Because nothing good comes from undermining anyone. I wouldn't be me without this show. It's campy and cheesy. My behaviors growing up and a lot of the values I have right now closely parallel that of this show, which is scary in a way. You know, we talk about media's influence on children, but that's another video. As Hetty King, one of the main characters in this show, once said, "I will never forget the days of my youth, when the waves rippled between my toes, taking the pink and silver grains of sand back out into the depths of the sea. There was a peace then, an indescribable feeling of immortality in the ebb and flow of the tide, and the seemingly endless stretch of beach and sky. Now as I gaze out upon those same sparkling waters, I realize that youth is never left behind, but is carried always, gently, in the heart." This show was a very large part of my youth, my childhood. So what was a big part of your childhood? What childhood shows did you idolize and love? Visit them, and be kind to yourself, and remember that childhood.